A wounded enemy soldier crawls across the ground, dragging himself toward a small, ruined building. The drone follows from above, holding steady as he disappears inside. Seconds later, the structure is struck with precision. The explosion engulfs the walls, erasing both the shelter and the man within. Smoke rises slowly, covering the remains in silence. In an enemy-occupied city, a Ukrainian drone spots several hostile soldiers and strikes with precision. The explosion ends their movement instantly. A drone spots an enemy crossing an open field. When the target hears the faint buzz above, he drops to the ground, pretending to be dead. The drone pauses mid-air, circling slowly, scanning for any sign of motion. For several seconds, the field is still. Then a small twitch gives him away. The drone locks on, dives sharply, and delivers a precise strike. The explosion leaves only smoke drifting across the grass. The camera steadies again, confirming that the target is gone. A drone tracks a small enemy unit moving across an open field. One by one, the soldiers fall as precise strikes hit their positions. The camera follows each impact, short flashes, quick plumes of smoke, then silence. In less than a minute, the entire squad is gone, erased from view and sound. A reconnaissance drone moves slowly along the tree line, scanning for heat signatures. Between the branches, two enemy soldiers are spotted, crouched low and trying to remain unseen. The drone steadies, adjusts its angle, and begins a controlled descent. The first strike lands with precision, tearing through the trees and covering the area with smoke and dust. Moments later, a second drone arrives to confirm the result. Through the haze, the aftermath becomes visible. One of the soldiers lies motionless, while another burns near the wreckage. The camera steadies briefly, recording the scene before both drones pull back into the sky. In the open field, a drone rushes toward an enemy soldier. He throws his rifle upward, trying to knock it down, but misses. The drone dives straight into him. Operators from the 79th Air Assault Brigade strike a moving enemy convoy, advancing across the open fields near Rezin. The drones track each vehicle in the column, marking and destroying them one after another. Tanks, armored carriers, and transports burn across the plain, their wrecks forming a black line through the grass. The footage shows precision and coordination. No panic, no noise, just controlled execution. Each drone locks onto its target, dives, and disappears into fire. Within moments, the entire convoy is reduced to twisted metal. The river they tried to cross becomes a graveyard of wrecks, the smoke stretching for kilometers. An FPV drone named Gromolo Optic locks onto an enemy motorcycle speeding across the field. The rider tries to maneuver, but the drone closes in fast. A sharp dive, and the explosion tears through the machine, leaving only smoke and fragments scattered on the road. The camera hovers for a moment, confirming the hit before fading to static. The footage captures an extended sequence of drone strikes against enemy infantry spread across open fields and ruined positions. Each approach is calm and precise. The drones hover, adjust, and dive. One by one, the targets vanish in clouds of dust and smoke. There is no sound of shouting, no confusion, only the steady rhythm of controlled destruction. What once required entire artillery units is now handled by a few operators watching from a safe distance. They guide multiple drones in parallel, coordinating movements with quiet efficiency. The battlefield below becomes a grid of small explosions, each marking another successful strike. From above, the pattern looks deliberate, mathematical, each hit following the same rhythm of precision and silence. Some targets run, others hide behind scattered debris, but the drones track them all. Thermal cameras pierce through smoke and shade, revealing movement invisible to the human eye. Each new approach feels inevitable. The result never changes. The technology has turned reaction into prediction. The enemy is seen, marked, and erased before he can take cover. By the end, the landscape bears no trace of order, just fragments, dust, and silence. The camera pans slowly across the aftermath, capturing the stillness left behind. For the operators, it's just another completed mission. For the battlefield, another silent shift in control. As the sequence continues, the footage begins to resemble a pattern, not chaos, but process. Every movement, every explosion fits into a system of observation and correction. The operators no longer react, they anticipate. The drones hover like patient instruments, calculating distance, temperature, and motion. The air above the battlefield has become as dangerous as the ground itself. In modern warfare, control has shifted from muscle to signal. The hand that once pulled the trigger now presses a button from miles away. The battlefield is managed through coordinates, not commands. Each drone is both weapon and witness, recording its own strike, confirming its precision, and feeding that data back into the network. This is not just combat, it is a constant exchange of information. The footage shows a continuous sequence of drone strikes against enemy infantry scattered across the landscape. Each strike is calm, measured, and exact. The drones hover above tree lines, fields, and ruined buildings, locking on targets one after another. Every movement below is observed, tracked, and neutralized within seconds. What once required entire fire teams is now handled by silent operators miles away. They coordinate dozens of drones in real time, guiding each toward its mark. The strikes come fast, short bursts of light and smoke, then stillness. The precision is surgical, the pattern almost mathematical. Every impact leaves a new crater, every frame another record of a target erased. The battlefield beneath them is quiet, but not empty. Heat signatures move through the grass, soldiers crawl for cover, and each attempt to hide becomes visible through thermal cameras. From above, there are no blind spots. The drones react faster than their targets can move. One moment of hesitation, and the strike is already on its way. By the end of the sequence, the ground is marked with smoke columns and shattered debris. The calm hum of the drones replaces the noise of gunfire. Their efficiency is absolute. No waste, no delay, no confusion. Every flight ends the same way. A single, precise impact and silence returning to the field. Two tanks from the 5th Assault Brigade carried out a fast and coordinated strike on a Russian-occupied farm near Oleksivka on the Alexandria front. Intelligence had confirmed that the enemy was using the site to gather infantry and equipment for an upcoming assault across the Kazeni-Terets River. Before the attack could begin, the tanks advanced from the flank, entering deep behind enemy lines and catching the group by surprise. As the footage shows, the approach was calm and deliberate. The lead tank opened fire first, targeting vehicles and fortified positions, while the second covered the opposite side of the compound. Within seconds, explosions rippled across the farmyard. Storage buildings collapsed, smoke filled the air, and the enemy line broke apart in confusion. Attempts to return fire failed. Most soldiers were caught in the open, their defenses unprepared for the sudden strike. The tanks pressed forward, clearing the area with precise, short bursts. One shell after another landed with mathematical accuracy. What had been a staging area became a trap, a place of disarray instead of preparation. Infantry scattered between burning structures, some fleeing toward the riverbank, others disappearing into the surrounding fields. The footage captures every movement, the chaos, the collapse, and the discipline of the assault that caused it. Minutes later, the field fell silent. The tanks stopped at the edge of the ruins, scanning for survivors and confirming hits. Smoke drifted across the horizon where the enemy's armored support had stood moments before. The coordinated action prevented an assault that could have cost lives on the front line. Instead, it ended before it began, precise, efficient, and final. The farm became just another burned-out mark on the map of the occupied zone.